Is the new CPA exam broken? Q4 2024 pass rates came out and they were a bit surprising. So FAR is the lowest that it's ever been at 36.8%. And BAR, which is the Moody offspring of FAR and BEC, was the lowest score ever at 33.7%. I have a comparison of 2006 to 2024 CPA exam pass rates. You can go to another71.com/rates and you'll see it there. And I double and triple checked it because it's embarrassing to get called on something. This week, when a gentleman by the name of Dr. Josh McGowan, the CPA and director at the William H. Carr School of Accountancy at Troy University, caused quite a stir online with the pass rates. I made a comment in his thread that most states are still 150 hours to sit, and he corrected me. He said, "No, they're 120." Like, when did that happen? It's a little embarrassing. So I double and triple checked the CPA exam pass rates data again at another71.com/rates. Nice guy. We had a nice exchange in the DMs, but he wrote on Twitter/X. I still call it Twitter, so X, whatever. He wrote, the new CPA exam was broken. The consensus on the new exam was that FAR would see higher pass rates as difficult material was moved to BAR. And yes, I also believe that. He continues, unfortunately, we see the lowest quarterly FAR pass percentage in at least the last 15 years. Yep. BAR's pass rate is almost 40%. So he means 40 percentage points lower than TCP's. He writes, the difference in difficulty between discipline sections is 100% influencing the decisions on which CPA exam section to attempt. I agree. This is a major issue and needs to be corrected ASAP. Okay, this is where I disagree. And we'll get to that in a minute. He writes, audit Q4 results also raised concerns. Only one other quarter in the past 15 years resulted in a lower pass percentage. And he writes, current test takers seem to be at a major disadvantage compared to those that sat in the exam in the years past. Another point that I politely disagree on. All right, so let's take these one by one and break them down. First, he says, this is a major issue that needs to be corrected ASAP. I disagree with that. Here's why. CPA candidates will adapt like they always have. When there's a change, there's typically a dip in pass rates. I've been doing this full time since 2008. Can you imagine how many score releases have come and gone since 2008? I've been there for all of them. I've seen a lot. When there's a change, there's typically a dip in pass rate. So in 2011, that was when the big to-do then was IFRS. Everyone was freaking out. IFRS was going to be on FAR. FAR dipped 3 points quarter by quarter versus the previous year, and then it rebounded. Auditing. Big deal was the clarity standards in 2013. So back in 2013, the people who were taking auditing had to know both the clarity standards and what they called the extant standards. And so you had to know both for one little, I think it's for the year. You had to know both. And so as a review course, we had to have both listed. Okay. So the clarity standards, huge deal. 2013, there was a dip and there was a recovery. 2017, the CP exam changed quite a bit. It was a big deal. Dip, recovery. But you can see a theme here. But let's say that there's no recovery. Let's say this is the new normal. Well, maybe the AICPA dials back some of the FAR changes. So maybe they realize, or it's not a fact that they went overboard, but maybe they decide that they went overboard, knowing that FAR was going to be easier. Everyone thought it was going to be easier. I thought it was going to be easier. Maybe there were too many way out there FAR sim topics. Maybe they need to play some more of the classics like inventory, fun. The AICPA knows what is happening, and either they're good with it or they're going to make a change. They're going to dial it back a little bit. Only they know. So the first contention is that there's a major issue and needs to be corrected. Disagree for those reasons. Secondly, he says overall current test takers seem to be at a major disadvantage compared to those that sat for the exam in the past. Again, I disagree. So FAR isn't that much lower than normal. So listen to this: 42, 43, 44, 39, 42, 41, 40, and 37. Okay, obviously the 37 is an outlier. Those are the FAR pass rates from the past 2 years, including the year before the big change. Like I said, CPA candidates will adapt. And hey, ISC and TCP, they're calling out, choose me. TCP especially. TCP has 82, 76, 73, and 72. So when you average, so when you take the, when you average the pass rate for FAR and TCP, it combines for 59%. And obviously those are not weighted. But so then when you add in auditing at 45% give or take and regulation at 62% give or take, you're looking at a pass rate by section of about 55%. That's my initial Spidey math. Feel free to yell at me. Pretty sure that's right though. Because again, I don't want to be embarrassed by having bad math. So of course, these are again unweighted numbers, so take them with a grain of salt. But when you compare the 2022 and the 2021 pass rates, and we'll throw out 2023 due to people scrambling to take BEC. Yeah, it comes out about 54% per section. So again, you can see those pass rates at another71.com/rates. Now, in that same thread, another person attributed the low pass rates to the CPA review courses. They wrote, there's a possibility that the study solutions are just not meeting the mark as well. This may seem like a valid point for someone who doesn't work in the CPA exam prep world, but for the most part, the 2024 CPA exam was a reshuffling of content. So you had FAR to bar, BEC to auditing, regulation to TCP, and then BEC to ISC. So the overwhelming majority of the content being tested in 2023 was tested again in 2024, just under a different label in some instances. So the content that was brand new was ISC and TCP. So the exams that had no AICPA release questions for the review providers to build off of were ISC and TCP. So this means that we had to build the questions from scratch. We had to guess as to what they thought they were going to be like. So the biggest opportunities for CPA review courses like Becker, UWorld, Surgent, Gleim, and Ninja, yours truly, to fall flat on their faces was ISC and TCP. What exams had the highest pass rates in 2024? Reg, ISC, and TCP. The review courses did a good job, even little old Ninja. In conclusion, is the new CPA exam broken? No, it's just fine. The best order to take the CPA exams for your best advantage is FAR, auditing, regulation, and TCP. Just remember FART, fart, and you'll pick the right order.